Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 27th of April. So starting off with the euro dollar, and well, I just thought I'd look at this weekly picture just because towards the beginning of the week we're bouncing around that 21 moving average and it was struggling with that. It's well and truly through that now. So I'll talk more about that next week in the weekly outlook, but for now, whoops, I've just got a bit of a pause situation to go on for. After a quick reboot of eSignal, here we go, continuation. So where are we sitting here at the moment on the euro dollar? This is a daily picture. Well, we're heading down towards that weekly 200. Daily 200. I was just still feeling got the weekly 50 in my mind now. Anyway, we're heading south at the moment. It would suggest at least now. Draghi's comments were rather mixed yesterday, and there was nothing in there really to say too much. There was a lovely blip into the 4-hourly 21. Of course, I missed that. But that occurred during Draghi's speech, actually, I believe. We'll look at the effect of that. But anyway, where are we today? Well, we are down. I've got this support line on there for some reason, and I'm not 100% sure why it's sitting at that point. But there would be a reason. However, what I'm looking at, there is a daily pivot above us. I think with the way this trend is running, it's pretty strong to the downside. However, there is the potential for that to be hit. We're just leading up to 8 o'clock where we get the 8 o'clock pivots in. They themselves can provide us a bit of a retracement quite often. So it's well worth watching for a bit of a clue. It's not done too much during the Asian session at all. Bit of selling off here, which could be a bit of a fake, early fake, but who knows, it may go with that later on. Targets, well, really looking at that daily S1 as ever. We've got the watch out for the weekly S3 there at 2055. It often bounces off that sort of level, which is just below that S1, so that's fine anyway. And then 2004, good year that was, 2004 right the way down to the 200. So there are a few targets to the downside. Whether we would see that 2004 today is another matter, but if it really starts selling, maybe we could. As I said, it really depends post 8 o'clock how we set up around that sort of period. If it breaks, there's a little, on a shorter time frame, you could be drawing a little trend line over the top there. If it starts breaking out, where the daily pivot looks on. If it does that, it may be just well worth just sitting there and waiting and see the reaction to that daily pivot, and see if it rolls back again. Okay, it's oops, wrong one. Let's move on to the British pound. Consolidation. Now we had a lovely little trade out of this yesterday morning, and then it rallied right the way back, then sold off again. It's consolidating in this phase here, which well, the discounted idea of I think there may still be an interest rate in May, so that's probably not completely out of the picture. I know the percentage of it likely to happen has dropped, but perhaps the market traders themselves are thinking, well, actually, yeah, well, things aren't too bad. But today we've got GDP data coming out. It's the first figure shot of the GDP at 9:30, and that may just create the volatility that we need to see, and give us a bit of direction. So it's just where that is quite a key figure at 9:30 there for the pound. Moving on to yen. Sorry, there's not much else I can do with the pound until the news is out, so there's no point giving ideas. Dollar yen, daily wise, well, I'm surprised we haven't shot up even further over the night, because there was a bit of a change in the statement that came out there in terms of interest rate expectation. Prior reference related to reaching 2% inflation target around 1920 was taken out altogether, so there seems to be uncertainty about that statement, and which could mean, well, we could see a little bit more softening here, and that would probably help them reach their target if we had a softer yen. So we'll see, but has got the potential for that 200 above. Um, Still, it did some patterns here yesterday. Looked a bit like it was diverging, but it's consolidating. It's done this so many times. It consolidates and then pushes up. So still erring on the upside potential, but plenty of resistance where we're sitting at the moment. I haven't looked at the options yet, and it maybe we're just blocked in again with options, and we will get an expiry today, no doubt. So there's the potential for the upside on the yen. The pound, the Aussie's still selling off here, and I still personally think with all those retail punters out there being still relatively long, we could see it push over some more yet, but it has diverged on the 4 hourlies here, so there is the chance it could there's a sign of weakness in this downward move at least, and there is the chance even on an intraday basis that it will pop up. I mean, today we've got the daily pivots above. To me, it's not a great intraday trading pair, but it's more of a swinging pair. It has the potential, as I say, that we're seeing with divergences on those 4 hourly time frames. Sure, it's sort of fundamentally, I think it's still a very weak currency, and as I said, with the retail traders, so many retail traders being long on it, it just makes me wonder if it will just continue that downside move. And finally, the Canadian dollar, nearing the finishing flag. Okay, so the Canadian dollar did manage to bounce back up again. I keep talking about that monthly pivot. It doesn't look like it's going to get hit again, does it, this week at the moment? But possibly. It's softened yet again. Yesterday afternoon there, so you saw quite a bit softening, consolidating again. Still looks like it could make it. It did all the divergences, did all the right things for some downside previously, but it never confirmed the divergence move, never broke that low there. So really, it's still at the moment looking like it's going to head further north. And it's just a quick check of oil. Now, oil's oil's not going anywhere at the moment. It's really stalled this week. Yeah, just struggling away at the moment. It's getting into a bit of a wedge sort of pattern or channel, sideward channel, but struggling there. So the Canadian economy is not on fire, so a bit more softening could happen. As I said, we could be still heading further north on that. Okay, I should also mention 1:30 this afternoon we've got the advanced GDP on the US as well, so we've got counter currency that we're trading on across all these markets. We've got news for that at 1:30, so we could see some volatility coming out there. It is the first reading for both the UK and the US today, so we've got a Swiss National Bank speaker. I'm not interested in that. 8 o'clock we've got a bit of flash CPI and GDP from Spain, so it might give a bit of a slant on what's going on within Europe, some more clues, but it's not the big powerhouse of France or Germany. And then we've got Carney speaking at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Probably at some launch or something. Speak to the launch of the Bank of England's economic education programme in London. There we go. Don't expect too much to come out of that at 3 o'clock. He said his bit last week. So there we go. Have a great day. I'll catch you on Monday morning. Bye for now.